more features, lower prices, better products. Nobody beats Aaron's nobody.
If there's one guy who personifies cool on the Spurs, it has to be Fabrizio Oberto. Welcome to a home sweet home edition of Spurs Insider. I'm your host, Bill Lamb. Well, with the All-Star break and the rodeo road trip behind this team, it's time to get ready for the final push to the playoffs for the San Antonio Spurs. We'll find out more from Fabrizio Oberto, what he thinks about that and where the Spurs stand right now.
It's said that a lifetime is defined not by the possessions you leave behind, but the friends you make along the way. That's even if those friends are getting together to bust your chops.
You know, I got to throw a couple of digs at him. I love him. You know, like I said, when I retired, his poster was right there on my wall, sitting on that big block of ice, and it was inspiring to me. So, you know, I got to be nice to him sometimes. I got to show a little respect, but, you know, it's a roast. What is it supposed to be? I mean, we're not paying tribute, really. We're cutting down and chopping down, and that's what I like to do best.
The memories that most teammates have of number 44 are of how he made the game seem easy.
He's a guy I felt like was way before his time when you talk about big guards.
Back in the 80s, early 80s, we had considerable success. We challenged the Lakers. Of course, they knocked us out for the divisional title, and that particular year was a very special year, spending it with the Iceman and of course, the San Antonio Spurs.
And that was our whole game plan. Give Ice the ball, you know, till he can't walk no more.
Fantastic. He draw the crowd. For me to average over 20 with George Gervin is very easy. He makes the game a lot easier for the people that be around him.
Singing the Iceman's praise wasn't given only from the former Silver and Black. A virtual who's who of NBA legends lined up for the champs.
Well, he would always push you to the brink because you knew he was always going to play well. I think one of his shining moments was the All-Star game in Washington, D.C., when it seemed like everybody was just there watching him play. Because, I mean, he came out and, you know, from the first minute of the game, we knew he was going to be the most valuable player that night. And I just remember it like it was yesterday because I was so happy for him.
Well, I try not to guard him too much, you know. If I saw he was going to get on me or I was going to get on him, I tried to go the other way. But, you know, he was just a tremendous offensive player, and anytime you go up against a guy like that, you know you're going to have a long night.
One, remember? Try to block his shot and pull a muscle in my back. That's the ice.
Back in our thoroughbred days, you know, a lot of times we'd be going different places, you know, alone with my wife, and people say, let me take your picture, let me take your picture. And I said, well, sure, you know. And they say, oh, Mr. Gervin, ice. I said, no, this is Neville Shed. So for a long time, they kind of caused us to be twins.
I liked Ice as a player. I liked Julius Erving, and, you know, as a kid, all you want to do is be able to put the ball in the basket the way those guys do.
Oh, man, it's a finger roll. That's how smooth he was, just taking it to the hoop and doing his finger roll and make it look like it was so effortless.
Well, you know, other than the fact that everybody's going to talk about his finger roll and his patented shot, my fondest memory is just seeing him run up and down, and as little and thin as he was able to score as many points as he did. My wife on the way over asked me if I had a Dr. J poster on my wall. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, really? I mean, yeah. I had Dr. J, I had George, and I had Charlie's Angels. I mean, I was an American teenager, yeah.
It took more than a decade after the last game and an all-star cast, but this roast may have slightly melted the Iceman.
Man, it's quite an honor. I mean, you know, I guess it really shows you the respect that, you know, people have for other people to come and support. You know, some of the things that they're doing in the community. I'm real proud. I'm real honored. You know, I mean, it's truly special to have this collection of Hall of Famers and 50 greatest ball players and all-stars to be here. I mean, wow, what more can you ask for?
What year did the Spurs come to San Antonio?
The 60, 65.
71. 72. 73.
73.
I have no idea. 1973.
What is it? 73.
It is? Okay. That was my
Not
second
very
guess.
good. That was my second guess.
The Spurs were in New Orleans Sunday night to face an undermanned Hornets team playing without Tyson Chandler and Peja Stojakovic. Here, Tony Parker breaks down Chris Paul for an early 5-2 lead. Chris Paul returns the favor with this spin in the lane for two. He led all scorers with 26 points. The deflection by Manu Ginobili sparks the fast break. Tony Parker passes the 10,000-point mark for his career. Tim Duncan gets the bucket and the foul over Hilton Armstrong. He finishes with 19 points and 16 rebounds. Later in the third quarter, Chris Paul gets his own three-point play with the scoop in the lane. Now, despite this three by Manu Ginobili, the Spurs struggled from downtown, making only 7 of 29 threes. Late in the fourth quarter, Chris Paul finds Julian Wright for the alley-oop and the 5-point lead. The Hornets shot a sizzling 32 of 33 from the free throw line and turn away the Spurs 90-86.